Peace, y'all. Grand Reborn, and welcome to Soulview. This is where I connect with like-minded people like myself to get their perspective on their soul journey process, so it can hopefully help me and you guys out. You feel me? And today I have a very special guest, man. This is like an inaugural moment. You know what I'm saying? This is the first one done, and I'm excited to have this brother on the line with us to connect, man. But Kenny Mansa is here, dog. You know what I'm saying? Peace, Kenny.
Peace. What's the deal?
Man, chilling, man. I appreciate you for, you know what I'm saying, for connecting with me, dog. You know what I'm saying? I reached out to you, and like a real nigga, you hit me back. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of niggas don't be hitting me back. But I appreciate that, man. And salute to you for that. And before we get this started, man, you know, my whole purpose for this segment and this new series on my channel, man, is just to really trying to connect with like-minded people and, you know, kind of get their experience and their perspective on this soul process. You know what I'm saying? And I've personally seen you, like we was talking earlier, you know what I'm saying, from Panic videos and then being published on Massively Foolish channel. Shout out to MF. You know what I'm saying? And just seeing that growth and that transformation, you know what I'm saying, as far as your evolution, man. And I'm proud of you. You know what I'm saying? Straight up, I'm proud of you because I seen where you came from just from the clips and the videos that I did see into you coming into your own being. You know what I'm saying? So salute to you first and foremost for that, dog.
Word, appreciate it. Much appreciated.
Man, it's all good.
Really like it's like impossible, you know what I'm saying, to accept any of that, you know what I mean, without giving it up, you know what I mean,
Yeah.
to the masters, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
like who actually made this shit possible, nigga. You know, like Bobby Hemmett, fuck, you know what I'm
Man.
saying, masterful work. Brother Panic, you know, and Brother Phil, you know, all three of those brothers really are the ones who resonated with me the most. And there are others, you know what I'm saying. I fuck with a few others, so I don't want to be remiss, but those three right there are the ones that helped me the most. I would say influenced me the most, the one that I aspire to, you know,
Man, that's
you know, to be like, if you will.
right. Damn. And you know, that's deep and powerful because those three people that you listed, you know, those I would consider those masters myself, you know what I'm saying, along with others like you mentioned. So I think that's dope. And that kind of goes into my first question. So would you say that gathering that information from those master teachers is what got you started on all this? Like, what resonated with you that just say, hey, you know, this is something?
Well, what resonated with me, which I would imagine what resonates with anybody else who is like really in this shit. And when I say in this shit, I don't mean like a clique or a group or anything of anything superficial like that. I'm just saying,
Right.
as far as like individuals who have done certain work to where they can, you know, they position themselves to where they can now make like sound decisions. You understand what I'm saying? So before I even came across but the Panic, Phil, Bobby, you know, which likely would have been information I wouldn't even been ready for in the first place. I already had the desire to know. You understand what I'm saying? That the decision to know is what started it. You see what I'm saying? Like I started to like something as simple as looking back in my childhood and realizing that they only taught us certain portions of history, and then just, you know, like just looking at blanket shit like pyramids and then becoming curious about them niggas. You understand what I'm saying? So I started actually seeking information. I said somebody has to have a different perspective than the one I was taught. So you know, Dr. Ben pops up. Like, you know, you put in ancient Egypt history, that shit pops up. You know, John Henry Clark, all of that. So you know, I'm listening to Asa Hilliard. I'm listening to, you know, all those great old scholars, you know what I mean, who was doing that historical work, Check after Diop, Ivan Van Sertima, the list goes on and on. You understand? So, so what that did for me was it did two things. It aroused my intellect because I got brand new information that I didn't have before. And then I also got a new sense of pride. You know what I'm saying? I had got this new sense of pride, like, oh, you know what I'm saying? I didn't know that, you know what I'm saying, that I was a part of some niggas who was doing some hot shit. You understand what I'm saying? Because you got to remember, I failed the 7th grade twice, if you didn't know. I failed the 7th grade twice, and I never finished the 9th grade. I think I probably did like 3 months, maybe 4 in the 9th grade, and I was done. You understand what I'm saying? So when society already beats up niggas who ain't got an education. You understand what I'm saying? So when you see people who actually have an education and still struggling, that kind of does something to your self-esteem, even more so. When you see niggas with master's degrees and bachelor's degrees and they still struggling, and you sitting there with no high school diploma, you like, how the fuck? You know, like, so how does a person begin to see themselves as anything else? You know what I mean? That begins with a desire. That shit comes in the heart. That shit comes from something that is ancient. You dig what I'm saying? Like that, you can't quite put your finger on it. I went crazy thinking about this thing, thinking about like, why do I desire to know this shit? You understand what I mean? Like you can go crazy just asking yourself that question. Why do you want to know how, and why another motherfucker don't want to know? You go crazy with that. You just have to come to a personal conclusion that for whatever reason you are privileged with this information, and you know it's up to you to choose how you want to, you know, what you want to do with it. You know, at the end of the day, it's up to that person. So to move it a little bit forward, as I'm gaining this new historical information, I'm learning all this knowledge. You know, Dr. Ben was kicking ass. You know what I'm saying? Fucking motherfuckers up. Those Jewish niggas, everybody up on blast. You see, like, look at them debates, John Henry Clark, fucking the motherfuckers up on stage. You dig what I'm saying? Just with the information, without any emotion or any biasness, that resonated with me. I understood that there were individuals who existed that was only interested in helping people and not trying to trick motherfuckers. That resonated with my heart. You understand what I'm saying? So as I begin to grow and expand, so to speak, you know, right now my intellect is getting there, and my arrogance is growing, because now it's like, you know, kill Whitey, you know, it's Black Power. You motherfuckers been tricking me. You've been having me thinking that niggas wasn't doing shit. We was just slaves. You know, I'm on that shit. You know, the militant. You know, I'm watching all the militant shit on YouTube every fucking day. I ain't gonna name no names, but all the militant brothers who was doing it on YouTube, I was rocking that shit. You did what I'm saying? And interestingly enough, even though I was with it, I never really got stuck in it. I was always like, I remember on like Soulinary's channel, I used to watch his channel all the time. Back in the, you know, especially when, you know, when I was, you know, first coming into consciousness. You know, I'm 35 now. I first started to look into shit when I was around 28. So one thing I liked about Soulinary is that although he's a militant brother, he still had a lot of other little shit on there. You know, he'll have Bobby on there. He'll have Brother Phil Valentine on there. You know what I'm saying? Like, he'll have the brothers on there. He just wouldn't be 100% one way. So I appreciate him for that, because it's because of him I was exposed to a lot of good shit. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So everything is everything. You know, so we appreciate that brother for putting out that content. You know what I mean? He came here to do that work. Mm-hmm. We appreciate that. So as I'm recognizing that, all right, we've been duped, you know, so the first thing you do to that when you are emotional is that you just react. You're not really thinking, you just react. So Black Power, boom. You understand what I'm saying? That's the tip that I was on. Black Power, kill Whitey, whatever. And then things started to happen, like niggas getting killed and it becoming like extremely publicized. Not, you know, niggas was getting killed, like, because there was no real Trayvon Martins that I could think of in the 90s. where like, you know, like we're a white man, you know, the whole setup of racism, and then there's a race killing, and then the white man getting away.
Right.
Typically back in the 90s, you know, whitey would just get away with it. It would be kind of swept under the rug. You understand what I'm saying? It wasn't a whole bunch of riots. You know what I'm saying? It was just only a few protests, but it wasn't like anything like it is today, where you can name like a dozen niggas or more, and you can connect them to a town and a movement, you know, of this protest, you know, like Mike Brown and Trayvon Martin and so forth. So the Trayvon Martin thing and all this stuff is starting to happen. And as I'm seeing and I'm witnessing all the protests and things of that nature, and I'm acknowledging it as a you know, as a standard reaction of what something like this will, you know, will dictate. You know, a brother gets killed by a white man who was not even a cop or nothing. He just killed the brother. It seemed seemingly for nothing, right? So, you know, I'm looking at it and I'm analyzing it, and then for whatever reason, it just occurred to me that niggas was protesting before in the 60s. I just never thought of it. I was like, oh, this seems familiar. I just remember something in my heart. I was just like, yo, I just feel like for whatever reason, this is just a reenactment. Like we played this game before. And then, so once I started to look at that, just basic shit, not something super deep. I didn't, you know, wake up and see an ankh. You understand what I'm saying? Shining through the ass of my eye. You know, like I just put shit together in my mind. You know what I'm saying? I just put shit together. I was like, yo, them niggas was doing this shit a long time ago, and niggas is still fucked up. That simple revelation changed everything. Niggas did this before, and niggas is still fucked up. Niggas' position hasn't changed. I was like, oh, there is a higher level to the game to this shit. And then that's when things start to go. You dig what I'm saying? From that point, I started to seek something that was a little bit more closer to the chest. You dig what I'm saying? Not something that I could just be a part of, and then ultimately the end result is just niggas doing the same shit. I was able to see that, like, oh, nigga, it's gotta be something else to this shit. You dig what I'm saying? Like, this ain't it. Oh, we gonna be protesting again. Like, fuck. I mean, I'm with it, but fuck, what are we gonna get out of it? That simple little thing changed everything. So yeah.
Wow. Dog, that was powerful, bro. That was powerful. You said a lot of key things, and I could definitely resonate with the information that you were saying, man. So with that being said, let me ask you this, because now you're at this point, you went through the phases, you know, that we all seem to go through when we on this journey. You know what I'm saying? You know, getting that information, becoming emotional, going through the Black Power thing. You know what I'm saying? All the things that you broken down. So what has been some of the challenging things, you know, along that path?
Shit. Whew. I mean, for me, the challenges were really just all like eternal, like all emotional. You know what I'm saying? It was all just emotional shit. It had nothing to do with what niggas was doing, how I was being treated. It had everything to do with me dealing with myself and dealing with my whole situation and reordering it. You know what I mean? That's the challenging part. The challenging part is self-accountability, dealing with yourself. And it sounds so simple to say, but you'd be amazed as to how many people just don't. They don't seem to get that part, because they. See, but the thing I noticed about technology that fuck niggas up is that technology is just it's so complex that niggas don't. They tend to want to make everything complex. You see what I'm saying? Like nothing is easy anymore. You see what I'm saying? Like niggas, they can't accept simple, and that's where niggas is getting blocked at. You understand what I'm saying? What you have to be able to say something as simple as this: I control this, I run this. Those are simple fucking words, but for whatever reason, that shit don't seem to resonate. It's for whatever reason, it is easier to give credence to something else. you know, and and that reason is simple. It's just, mind control, programming. So my greatest challenge was just dealing with myself, dealing with my flaws, dealing with all my issues, dealing with my childhood traumas, dealing with my current situations, things that was happening to me at the time. Those are the parts that are challenging. You know what I mean? Those are the parts that are challenging. It's easy to go and punch a nigga in the face, but it's hard to look yourself in the mirror. You dig what I'm saying?
Facts.
Niggas punch niggas in the face every day, so that shows you that don't really mean shit. That don't take much, but to actually be self-critical and be your own best scientist. You dig what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That's where I see a lot of blockage. Doing that self-inner work, and beginning to have more of a standard of yourself, not in a goal-oriented way, but you begin to, like, when you hear, so you would hold things to a higher standard, like when you see something like Beyonce and she's doing like the Black is King, and this is just my thoughts on it, because I'm not interested, in debating about it or having any arguments, because to be frank, I haven't even seen a second of the video. I haven't even heard the song. You dig what I'm saying? All I seen was a picture of her, and niggas said she looked like Segment or some goddess. Nigga, I didn't even know what the goddess was. I didn't even recognize the symbol. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a master of the pantheons. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm not going to even sit here and try to pretend like that shit is important to me. At the end of the day, this is my thought on it is this. If what she's doing is that great, just witness the fucking transformation. If what she's doing is so awesome, that shit is going to show. And furthermore, I'm hearing people out there saying, especially in a so-called conscious community, they say things like, "Oh, you know what I mean? Like, the symbol of it, I can show my children and this and that and the third." I mean, my thing is this: is like, why you gotta wait for somebody to show a symbol? You can just go to fucking Google and teach your child directly. Facts. I don't need Beyonce to do a motherfucking thing. Whatever. But if she decides to do something and it impacts the overall fabric of things, have at it. You dig what I'm saying? If it's gonna be ill, fuck it. But other than that, I don't give a fuck. You dig what I'm saying? Because I don't see any results from this shit personally. You dig what I'm saying? So if you're getting results from it, if you see like it's something that you can use, then shit. You know what I'm saying? Windmill.
That's facts. Man, that's facts. That was straight heat. So let's flip that then, Kenny. Let's flip that, because you said a lot of powerful things in the challenging part. You know what I'm saying? It's all about inner work. You know what I'm saying? So from the challenges that you received and from the knowledge that you obtained, what has been rewarding on this journey?
Oh, nigga. Now that's an excellent question. The rewards, humbly speaking, is hard to quantify. It's hard to put it into words. It's as if you have like this arsenal of weaponry. However you say that word, weaponry. How you say that? Weaponry.
That's good. We're gonna go with that, weaponry.
Okay, we can go with weaponry. You have an artillery, a weaponry in your mind that where you can just feel like you could deal with any motherfucking thing. If you want to look at it on that level, on the defensive level, or on an offensive level, you feel like nothing can fuck with you. You understand what I'm saying? Nothing. There is nothing that's on TV. There's nothing that niggas can say. There's not a song or a video that can be released where you look at that shit and that shit affects you emotionally. That's one of the greatest benefits that you can get. And if that helps quantify a benefit, because really the benefits are boundless. You understand what I'm saying? It's hard for me to. It's like my reality. It seems to like it begins to like kind of follow what's already in my mind, things that I've always wanted to do, things to achieve, places I always wanted to go. All those things just seem to automatically begin. You begin to attract those things because your mind is there. So you know, if you have an environment that's conducive to happiness, you're gonna attract that shit. It's, you know, if you have a house full of trash, flies is gonna be in that motherfucker. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So one of the great benefits, the great benefits is having this you have the ability to recreate your idea by shedding that old ass narrative. You know what I mean? Which is that programming that used to like dictate everything in your life.
Mm-hmm.
And you be able to see the game. You can see the okie doke. It's easier to put things in their proper place and perspective. I know how to put everything in their box. I can quickly put anything in its place. Nothing is out of order. You understand what I'm saying? Those are one of the benefits, straight up. You know, like when I see Trump, I could just put him in the clown box. You see what I'm saying? Like, or if I have a family member who is fucked up, I put him in the fucked up family member box. You see what I'm saying? And it's quick, instant. And there's nothing emotional about it. And you know that you're good because your heart is in the right place. You see what I'm saying? You don't have any malicious intent. You don't have a need or a will to be ill towards anyone. You understand? So as a byproduct of that, things become lovely around you. You understand what I'm saying? Like, dude, like, I don't want to get explicit. Maybe we'll save that for another video.
Maybe we'll save it.
I still don't think niggas is ready yet.
Yeah, I feel you, man. And you know, I be having those thoughts myself, dog, where I be like, damn, I should say this, but you know what? I don't think they ready for it. You know what I'm saying? But even sometimes just on I would say, you know, an internal level, sometimes things don't need to be said. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it needs to be discovered. So, you know, like I say with a lot of people, man, it's like everybody's gonna give you half truths, you know what I'm saying? And it's up to you to do the inside work, like you were saying, to get the other half of the truth. Facts. You're not going to get that on the external, you know what I'm saying, from somebody or any video or anything, you know what I'm saying? You can only get clues, man. You know what I'm saying? But the other half of the clues is inside of you. It's inside of you. So you saying a lot of powerful information, brother. And let me ask you this though, because we talked about the challenges, we talked about some of the benefits and how boundless they are, but with that transition between the challenges and the rewards, you know, I would say here comes the biggest thing, which is the breakthroughs, because those breakthroughs is those aha moments, those clicks is what I call it, that click moment, you know what I'm saying? And one of my favorite movies is The Click itself, you know what I'm saying, with Adam Sandler. It's the whole thing, you know what I'm saying? It's a metaphysical movie and a cult movie at that. But what would you say, or what kind of tips would you give somebody to manage those breakthroughs, those click moments?
The first thing is I mean, the thing is this: as long as your heart is in the right place, you ain't got nothing to worry about. It will always lead you to the right information. If I could suggest anything, which was a troubling bump on the road for me, was becoming enamored with what Panic, Bobby, and Phil knew on a information tip, and then you begin to kind of like compare yourself to that, and you kind of hold that as a standard. You fall short of that because they was born to do that shit. You understand what I'm saying? You have to get in the habit of creating new standards for yourself, so you always see yourself in the winning light. So what I started to say was, well, fuck it. I'm just going to be interested in what I'm interested in. And if it resonates with me, I'm going to take it to heart, mull it over, and then use it. And then see what the results are. If I like the results, I'll keep doing it. What I started to realize was that I seem to like all the results from all the shit I'm doing. So it begins a pattern of good shit happening when you begin to trust yourself and not second guess yourself. You know what I'm saying? So heart. So I would say, so I probably won't have to ask you ask the question again because it was so eloquently put. But like, I think you asked a question about how to manage breakthroughs.
Yeah, just the tips, like some tips to just manage those breakthroughs.
Right. So yeah. So the best way to manage breakthroughs is just coming straight from the heart. Like my grandmother passed July 19th. She made the transition this year.
R.I.P. man.
R.I.P. Yep. Rest in peace. Amazing woman. 80 years old. And prior to her passing, I was doing a lot of heart chakra work. That's really just going over, like, am I really I just want to make, just within me, I'm just really just giving you like in-depth shit, because your mind, you have so many different conversations with your mind. So like, I'm really just going over in my mind, like, you know, I'm like, why am I doing this? Am I doing this because I have nowhere else to go? Am I doing this because I found out Jesus was fake? All this shit, you know what I'm saying? Because I've been around the Brother Panic for several years, you know what I'm saying? You know, took the classes, did all that good hot stuff, and then eventually, what happens is that you will hit like some sort of a wall in it, and you be like, you know what I'm saying? Like, then that's when you begin to question it. So, not question it in the sense of is the information real or not, but you question your zeal for it, because life just constantly beats you down. You understand what I'm saying? Life just constantly beats you down. So eventually you will come to a crossroads. You think the first crossroads is getting into consciousness, but really it's after you get into consciousness. You dig what I'm saying? It's when you hit that crossroads. And then you will see a motherfucker either go back to church or whatever the fuck, or like actually begin to elevate and grow and do new shit that niggas ain't never seen or heard before. Or at least have that standard for yourself, not in an egotistical way, but if your heart is running it, like let me show you. So my grandmother, she came to me after the funeral. She came to me. I'm just sitting here on my patio smoking whatever. She came to me, and all she did was this. She just showed me walking her across the street constantly. So I'm thinking, like, why she keep showing me walking her across the street back and forth? She's not saying anything to me or anything. Then I finally got the shit. I said, oh, nigga. I said, that energy that compels me to want to walk her across the street is what is running this shit now. Nigga, not the thought or the act. Nigga, the energy that's behind that, nigga, that's the heart shot. Nigga, that was a breakthrough for me. You dig what I'm saying? That's when fire. You know that you would do it every time, that energy is what you want to connect to. Not to say that walking an old lady across the street is the end all, the be all. You want to connect to that energy that compels you to do it. Not just programming, but that love that makes you want to do it. You dig what I'm saying? I realized I had that love for this shit. You dig what I'm saying? I had a true, genuine love for this shit. And I had a true, and I didn't have no fucking agenda. You know what I mean? I just wanted to, I just had this, I don't know, man. I just felt compelled to express this shit. To express it.
Now that's something important, man, that you saying. And I kind of want to go into that real quick, man, because you saying some powerful information, dog. And when you say express, right, and we talk about this inner journey and the soul journey, when you doing the transformational work inside yourself, and I get on my wife about this, you know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna throw you under the bus, babe, real quick. But let me ask you this: with doing that inner work, does it have an effect in the physical? Like, if you changing in the inside, is there gonna be change on the outside?
It must.
Woo! Say it again.
It must. How can
there you go,
it be
babe.
the other way? How can it be any other way? If you live in the projects and you grow up in the projects, you just don't move to the suburbs tomorrow. That person is already in the suburbs in their mind first. Like, oh, I gotta get the fuck out of here. I see that this condition is not really best for my personal living. Not to say that people living in the projects is anything wrong with that. I'm just giving you a basic example. Let's just say a person's in the projects. They're like, I think I want a house. That person begins to see themselves in a house first. That begins the process. You have to first see yourself in that light before anything can manifest physically. That's fundamental. You know what I'm saying? To me, that's not really even that deep. You know what I mean? It's like you gotta want to do push-ups before you start doing them. You just don't wake up and do the shit. You gotta want to do them. You gotta have it in your mind first. And in the book Hidden Power. In the book Hidden Power, the author, he said something real profound to me. Which it was simple but profound. He said, if you haven't convinced your subconscious mind that whatever it is that you want to do is important, it will always, what you want to do will never, it cannot compete with what you have not convinced your subconscious mind to do yet. Can't compete. So it's like, if I can say here till day is long that I want to go outside and jog and run and do all that smooth shit, but until I actually convince my subconscious mind to do it, I'm gonna be still sitting on my ass. You know what I mean? Because I don't really see myself doing it. I'm just talking. My conscious mind, I'm just talking. You know what I mean? You hear a lot of niggas just talk. They're just talking, but they're not. They don't really see themselves in that light. So it begins on the inside first. There is no other way. You know what I'm saying? There is no other way.
That's perfect, dog. Yeah, it can't be, and that's what I be trying to stress to it, man. It's like it can't be. When you got that information and it's transforming you, man, it's going to come out. As within, so without. You feel me? It's going to happen, man. You know what I'm saying? And I think that was just well said, man, and perfectly said, man. And you know what I'm saying? Like, I appreciate you, man. You said a lot of information that I think myself and others can really relate to, man, and resonate with. You know what I'm saying? It was a lot of powerful information, man. But one thing I want to ask you a question about, man, and this is just off the topic, is just that picture that we seeing right here. It's a picture that I see. It's on your profile and it's on your page as well. But kind of explain to me this picture, man, because this picture is dope, dog.
All right, so I came up with a picture of when I started researching an old blues player. His name was Robert Johnson from the 1930s. I want to say, yeah, the 1930s. If I'm not mistaken, that's when he was most prominent. He died at a young age. He was 28. So if you don't know the story about Robert Johnson, I first learned about him from an old coworker. He was telling me he was just a cool dude. But I remember him just telling me one day through conversation, he was like, "You ever heard of Robert Johnson? He was a blues player who sold his soul to the devil to become a better player." I just remember, with niggas like us, huh? You know what I'm saying? And they go, "What? He did, huh? Oh, nigga, give me some information." You know what I mean? So he instantly got my ears perked when he said that shit. So I Googled him and I look up the brother and I'm instantly intrigued by him. So I look at his documentary. He had an old documentary that came out like in the 80s. You know what I'm saying? Like some old footage shit. And I remember watching it and the story is so compelling. I don't want to give it away. You know what I mean? Because I want those who have not seen it to watch it because it's a very gripping and compelling story. One thing I will say about it is that this is what he did. He was not, when he first started playing, he wasn't a good player. He was just an average player. You know what I'm saying? His peers corroborate that. All his peers, his family members, those who are still around, and some of the old footage from previous archives and shit like that. You say he was just an average, okay player, whatever. You know what I'm saying? He got laughed at a couple bars and spots, this and that and the third. He went through some tragedy, which I'm not going to go through no detail because I want you to, to watch it for yourself. Again, and the name of the documentary is called, I think it's called like Crossroads or like something like that. Anyways, if all you gotta do is put in Robert Johnson on Netflix, that shit's gonna pop up quick. So he comes to a crossroads in his life, and the story goes is that he basically says, like, yo, like the story is that he met like this mysterious figure. The mysterious figure said, you know what I'm saying, if you give me your soul, I'll give you all this extraordinary, you know, ability and talent. You dig what I'm saying? That's what the story says. And then the next thing you know, they said Robert disappeared for a year. He came back. Now before Robert Johnson, niggas was just playing like one chord play. You know what I'm saying? Like dunga dunga ding 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 ding. You know, like chords, like basic chords. Robert Johnson, he came back after a year. If you hear him on his recordings, it sounds like two people are playing. You know what I'm saying? He invented that shit. He started that shit. And if you look at pictures of him and his hands, he has long, like, and he's a little dude, but he got hands that look like Baron Samedi, like huge skeleton fingers. You know what I mean? So you can clearly see that he came to do that work. You dig what I mean? So I don't want to give the story because it's so good. I want to keep going. But when I Google pictures of him, because it's very few pictures of the brother, somebody had made a depiction of him based on the whole story of how the brother was. And this is the picture. I seen it. I was like, oh, that's fire.
Yeah, it's fire, dog.
I was like, oh, that's fire. I said, it looked like me. I said, look at this nigga. I was like, he got the joint. He got the whole shit going. He got the whole shit going. I said, oh, nigga, that's me. That's Pan. I said, that's fire.
That's funny, man. That's funny,
So
and that's so dope.
I started pouring like bases to him, all kind of, you know, shit. Start getting with him, and his energy, you know what I mean, helped. He helped give me some, you know, that confidence to be unapologetic about being just yourself, not being focused on. Because sometimes I ain't gonna lie, I go back and I listen to my shit sometimes, and I'll be hearing like panic in it. Sometimes I'll be like, fuck. Fuck. You know, and then or I hear like Bobby in it. And it's not to say there's anything wrong. I guess that's natural. I mean, if you play basketball, you're gonna do some move like Jordan,
right?
Or like Julius Erving or something. You know what I mean? But yet and still, you know, I still humbly desire to be my own, doing my, you know, bring something new to the table.
Right. I feel you, and I can relate to that. You know what I'm saying? Just with my shit as well, and I can see that same thing. So yeah, you're right. We just have to identify, you know, who we are and stand on what we do. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, it was so important earlier. You know, like shit, I'm gonna start doing the shit that I'm interested in. You know what I'm saying? And whatever I'm interested in is gonna reflect in my work, and that's gonna set you apart, and that's what makes you unique. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Because I used to be extra intellectual. I used to be a nigga that could tell you anything about anything. You know,
Doctor Strange, my nigga. Doctor Strange.
Like, man, like I could just sit and just like pull information. Now, like, that's one of the thing that caught Panic initially. Like he will be like trying to describe something, and it wouldn't even be in great detail. And this is when I was just an intellect. I was tapped into that shit, man. I need to see if I can do that shit again. I used to be able to just pull like shit, like bam, like he like, oh yeah, that's what I was thinking. I used to do that all the time. Boom, just pull the shit out the air. And you know, I wasn't, you know, but that shit was shit. I had to find a balance because it was getting in the way of my spirituality too. You know, trying to put everything in perspective.
So when you say that, because that's very important, man. When you say that, what does that balance look like for you? So what you're saying is that you're going with what? How do you balance that? Because that's really good right there.
Well, I hear Bobby say all the time, you know, like you begin to learn the habit of like weighing shit. Is it worth its weight? You know what I mean? And you also develop the habit of not throwing anything out. Like, so if you see a bit of information, if you see somebody post something, if you scroll past it, don't feel like you hating on the person because you're scrolling past it. Just say like, oh, I might check it out later. You know what I mean? Or maybe not. You know what I'm saying? So like when I'm listening to all these lectures, these hours and hours, and like they just hitting you with this incredible information, you become overwhelmed. You have to get in the habit of saying, of just getting the gems and then just learning about those gems that you have. Don't think about the whole treasure box, nigga. Go crazy. Nigga, just get a couple gems. Like when I first heard like the Sephiroth, the Tree of Life, nigga, that shit was so fucking confusing. Like I just couldn't. I felt like I was like, I remember at a point I was like, man, I don't know if I'm gonna ever figure this shit the fuck out. You know what I mean? And then all of a sudden, just by my sheer heart's desire, it started to make sense. You amaze yourself. As long as your heart is in the right place, nothing else matters. Not as far as it doesn't matter how you articulate it. It doesn't matter how smart you sound. It doesn't matter what you can tell a nigga. It's all about if your heart is in the right place. Like you just want to know. Like you just like I just gotta know it. You know what I mean? For no other reason, but just so I can have it in my heart. You dig what I'm saying? So now when I look at like the tree of life, I ain't gonna sit here and lie to you and tell you that I can break it down like a master. But for whatever reason now, when I look at it, I'm like, oh, this shit is making sense to me. You dig what I'm saying? And eventually, if it's necessary, I do something on it. But it's already been done. You dig?
Man, that's what's up. That's super dope. And it always remind me of this lyric, man, because like I said, I'll be talking about this Last Dragon soundtrack so much, man. If you dive into that, dog, and just sit with that, oh man, you gotta sit with it, Kenny, dog. I'm telling you, it's gonna be amazing. But it's a song called Last Dragon on there, right? And he tells you, he said, once you become one with yourself, the mysteries will fall. The wall will fall. The mysteries will all be shown to you, bro. And it's kind of like, that's what happened to me, man. It's like, because I feel what you're saying, because I used to go through that same thing. But it's like kind of when I tapped in, it's like everything started to make sense. And I was able to web all this shit together, bro. And it all makes sense to me. You know what I'm saying? On a whole nother level, man. So what you saying is so powerful, bro. What you saying is so powerful, man. And everything that you said, I believe, just from my perspective, a lot of people are going to resonate with this. A lot of people are going to learn from this, including myself. You know what I'm saying? And I appreciate you taking out the time to connect with your boy. You know what I'm saying? Because we
got to.
Oh man, we gonna keep doing this, dog. That's what I'm trying to tell you. We gonna keep doing this, man, because like I said, man, when you on this kind of soul journey and you really understand where somebody is coming from, man, and you can really resonate and you can hear and feel, not even hear, you can feel where they coming from, man. It's so important, dog. And it's like I can feel where you coming from, and I can feel, you know what I'm saying? Like I told you, that transformation that I seen in you, bro. I seen it. I see the urge to want to know. And that's all it is. And a lot of things that you saying, man, is things that I've said to myself and are saying to myself. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of videos that I even recorded that I just haven't put it out. And it's like it's no accident, bro, that you saying some of the same shit that I'm saying. And to me, I'm sitting here listening to you, and I'm like, what the hell? What is this? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, this dude sound like me, man. He sound like me. And that's
because,
go ahead.
That should exist because of Panic and Bobby, nigga.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
I can't put enough emphasis on that. Like, and this ain't about no kiss.
But hold on, Kenny. And I want to stop you. I don't mean to cut you off, but listen, I know you say it's because of Bobby and Panic, and that's how I feel as well. But you was given that information. You was given the opportunity to get it. So it's all about you, bro. It's these external people and these external masters that we receive is just for us to remind. Like, think about it. Panic always talked about he started to teach when he got the Orisha reading, right? But he thought it was about computers, right? But he didn't know that there was a bigger and a deeper meaning behind it, bro. And that's what I'm telling you. You fell into that lane not by accident. That's what I'm saying. Ain't none of this shit by accident, bro. Me and you connecting, this is not accidental, is what I'm trying to tell you. And when people start to understand and look at that perspective, like this shit is web, dog. It's the World Wide Web. This shit is all connected, my nigga. And what I'm saying is that you fell into that position because you have an important role to play in this shit. And what I'm saying is I can feel where you coming from, and dog, everybody, you can hear people talk, man, and you can feel that energy. And I can say, dog, this nigga got it. That's all I'm saying is like, this dude has it. He understands what it takes to deal with this information. You see what I'm saying? So I'm just saying, dog, we gonna do this. We gonna continue to do this whenever you free. You know what I'm saying? We can call it a new segment. You know what I'm saying? We can start something up. But yeah, man, I really appreciate you, man. And you said a lot of powerful information today, man. Like I said, that I have to sit and resonate with, and that I know the people that rock with me on my page, they gonna appreciate this as well, man. So we appreciate your time, man. Before I let you go, man, tell the people about your channel, because your channel is dope. I already been subscribed to it. But tell people about how they can find you, what you got coming up, you know, everything about you, how to follow you, bro.
It's easy to find me. YouTube, Kenny, Kenny Mansa, Mansa. Instagram, same thing. Just put in Kenny_Mansa. I pop up. The page is actually public now. The shit was private since its inception. But since this YouTube shit, I figured I'd be a little nicer. And then on Facebook, Kenny Mansa, or my full name, Kenneth Robinson. You can find me. It's both the names are connected. So if you put in Kenny Mansa, it's going to show up as either Kenneth Robinson or both. So you can find me on that. I'm active on all 3 of those social platforms. You can reach me on any one of those. If you need to email me, my email is kennymansa88@gmail. That's KennyMansa88@gmail.com. I'm currently working on a consultation workshop where I help individuals, basically do the shit that I'm doing. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like those who are,
those who tapped in, dog.
I think it's important that people should know that it's not about like trying to convince. You have to I only want to talk to people who's asking the questions, not like people who come to me who's like feel like they already know the way. Like, because if that's the case, that's fine. But like, this thing is about transformation, yo. You know what I mean? It's just about transformation. So, I said all that to say is that I'm not doing. This is not about money. You know what I mean? Like, so I don't have no price in mind. But it ain't about money. I don't need it I don't need the money. I don't need it like that way. You know what I mean? So I'm not looking to like create like a massive I don't know, shit. I don't like I don't like
no, I got you.
80 million clicks. You dig what I'm saying? So
right. I feel you.
I just want to
doing it for the right reason, man. Your intent and your heart is in the right way. And sometimes when you dealing with transformational information, man, it's something that makes you get out your comfort zone, bro. Like I was talking to you earlier, you know what I'm saying? I'm an introverted nigga, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But this information has pushed me to do these lanes. Like I told you, I didn't have Instagram, nigga. I just got on Instagram just to get to you. You know what I'm saying? Facts. I don't do the social media shit. Nigga. I don't do the YouTube shit. Hey. People think this shit is just, I be for real, nigga. This is my therapy, dog.
Nigga, you on another level with it. I'm at least on Instagram, nigga, because I don't have I've never had Snapchat. I never had a TikTok. Like, I ain't never had like none of that. All I had was I had IG and Facebook. I said, those are cool. You never even had an IG. Man, I be looking at niggas crazy with an IG.
Yeah, I ain't have IG. That's what I'm saying. I'm so out of the loop, bro. Word. I'm so out of this loop. But that's dope, though. But that's what I'm saying though, Kenny dog. It's my intent, man, is really based on what you talking about, man. It's like the heart and the intent. Everything that you were saying, man, I could resonate with that shit because that's how I'm doing it. And that is confirmation for me that I'm doing it right. Because I use everything on the external, kind of like I keep telling you, as reminders for me, bro. And like I said, it's no coincidence that me and you connected, man. And the shit that you saying just confirms me. It confirms it for me, dog. That I know I'm on the right shit, bro. You know what I'm saying? It just makes me stand on my square much harder, dog. That's all I'm saying. So I really appreciate you, and I really appreciate this information and this conversation, dog. You know what I'm saying? So we whenever you got time and whenever you free, man, just connect with your boy. You know what I'm saying? But I definitely appreciate this. This was awesome. You're in the right space, bro. And I just want to say that from my perspective, you're in the right space, and I can feel it. It ain't about how well you saying this shit, because you saying it well too, my nigga. But what I'm saying is I feel you, bro. I feel you. And that shit is dope. And that's dope, man. So So, hey, everybody, you know what I'm saying? This was the first Soul View, you know what I'm saying? And I'm pleased to have Kenny on here, man. So please follow Kenny. I'm gonna have all his links in the description box, and just follow him, man, because like I said, it's a lot of people out here that are talking and giving out information, and there's nothing wrong with that. But when it comes to hidden information, when it comes to doing the real science, man, it's certain people that you just gonna resonate. You gonna feel them. You know what I'm saying? You gonna feel them, and he's definitely one of these people, man. So that's my thing with my channel. I try to tell y'all that this is my therapy, but I really do want to help people. I really want to help people who are in a space like myself, man, and like Kenny. And he is one person that can help you. That's what we got to do, is find like-minded people that resonate with us on a soul level, man, that can help each other, because this shit, like he was talking about, this shit can make you go crazy. This shit can make you go crazy, literally make you go crazy. So it's good to have, man, how, man, that's how it's made.
Nigga, that's Kylie. When you get to that point and you and the shit don't work with you, nigga, Kylie, come to that door, nigga, fuck your shit up. Send your ass right
the
back
destroyer.
To
She's the destroyer.
Right back to Island.
Exactly. Facts. So that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, man. It's like when you have these type of connections with people, man, you need to try to expand with that group. You know what I'm saying? So if he got something going on where he's trying to consultate people and try to, you know what I'm saying, talk to them and help them, it's good to help people that's on the same journey, man. And that's all we try to offer, is that's our assistance and our perspectives in helping you along this journey, because we know, you know what I'm saying, we know what it's like, and I'm pretty sure that a lot of you guys do know, but it is mostly a solo journey, and that's what they always talk about in the Book of the Dead and with the process of Horus, that this is a soul journey. It's a me journey, not a we journey. So what they're saying is that it's a lot of internal things that you have to do. That's the soul solo journey. But it's great to connect with like-minded people, man, and just know that. And I'm saying that Kenny is one of them, man. So please follow him. Please do anything to support him. Check out his new classes that he got coming up, his upcoming videos, and sub to his channel, man. So Kenny, man, we appreciate you, bro. And let's do it again, bro.
Word, let's do it. Peace.
Let's do it, man. Peace, man. Hey, enjoy your day, bro. Have a good one, man. I'll holler at you, all right?
Sir.
All right, peace, bro.
Peace.